Stacia throws the yellow flag on Nate.
She sure did. Welcome to Cliff Alert. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 15, episode number 5.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Please send us your comments, and we certainly appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah, Stacia and Nate.
This couple has a lot of sexual chemistry going on between them.
Absolutely.
And in her confessional, Stacia mentioned that while she wants, her body wants to have that physical connection with Nate, she's not going to go by what her body is feeling, but rather she's going to take her time to get to know Nate.
I think that's a wise move on both parts, actually, because they just met each other 4 days ago, and they haven't had a chance to get to know one another yet.
Yeah,
Dating in reverse, right?
Yeah, because the women are the ones who decides whether to have sex with the dude or not.
For the most
That's
part, yes,
the
absolutely.
power that we have.
Yeah.
You know, yeah or nay. And we know how to sidestep and get away from answering with a definite yes or no. I mean, that's what we do. It's in our DNA. And if you don't have it, practice. That's what I say.
They went on a little excursion there on all-terrain vehicles, and I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool. It was a new experience. I've never been on a bike like that. So
Absolutely, I think I've been on one or two.
An exciting thing to do.
Yeah.
She was a little nervous, of course, but she was game to try it.
Mm-hmm.
While she was being prepped by the instructor.
Mm-hmm.
Nate was busy looking at his phone and taking photographs and watching. I guess he has an IG account.
Yeah, so Nate was referred to by Stacia as her IG husband.
You know that's a hit, right?
Right. Trying to send a message. That's a message for you.
Yeah, I hope he
listened.
He picks up what she's putting down.
Exactly.
Because
listening.
She already letting him know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go on the ride. She's getting through it, and you could tell she's nervous, but she's partially enjoying herself.
Yeah.
And Nate stops and taking photographs and checking out his live stuff.
Yeah.
And she looked behind, and he's not there, and she's wondering where he is. So
he fell back a little bit.
You could see that she was waiting for him for a while. So when he did show up, she was a little salty.
A little miffed, yeah.
She had to check Nate to let him know that
it was a light check, though, don't you think?
He has to find a balance between that single dude and now a married man.
Right, he has to progress from his comfort level in being in single mode to, something entirely different and new for him being married.
And she said that Nate clearly moves to the beat of his own drum, and that she does not want that to be a consistent issue for them going forward.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Which is reasonable.
Yeah, I can respect that. It's absolutely reasonable.
Because you got to keep your eye on it.
Well, I don't think she's going to have any problem doing it, but I understand what you mean.
We see a funny little blurb about them getting dressed. He asking her, okay, how long does it take you to get ready? Because I took a shower and dressed, and I'm done by 15 minutes. And she tells him that she takes about an hour and a half.
Tick tock, baby.
Some women take 15 minutes, some women don't. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
He gonna learn today.
He gonna. I can't wait when he goes shopping.
Yeah.
That's the acid test right there.
Sit down there with his legs crossed, man. Act like you know.
Stacia and Nate are having a couple's dinner.
Right.
And Stacia opens the conversation by saying that her mom called to check in on her.
Find out how things were going.
How she was going.
Right.
And the mother mentioned that when Nate met with her and her two friends, he mentioned that he had a bankruptcy situation.
Yep.
And Stacia brings that up because she said that's a yellow flag for her.
For sure.
And again, we go back to the difficulties in marriage or relationship, sex, communication,
and money,
finances. Stacia says she works hard because she does not want to struggle, and she wants a successful family.
Right, and
so this is the time he explains to her that
what the situation was.
He had to file for bankruptcy.
Right, with a buddy he got into business with, and just things went south, and so that's what he felt like he had to do to be able to reset and recover.
Right. However, he said that it's going to be taken care of in 6 months.
6 months, and he doesn't understand how...
That's not how long it takes when you file for bankruptcy.
Right.
That thing is on your record for 7
years. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it does affect his finances.
Right.
In a not too pleasant way. I mean, if they want to buy a house and all that other stuff together.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if he understands the fundamentals around bankruptcy.
I don't think so, but he'll learn. He'll learn.
But in any event, it was a yellow flag for Stacia. She asked him whether he would sign a post-nup agreement because she wanted to protect the assets that she has, and that was important to her.
Right, and
what did she say?
She said that if he's not willing, I think it was in her confessional statement, that if she's not willing to do that, then that might be what she categorizes as a deal breaker.
And I don't blame her.
Yeah, I think
I don't blame her at all.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable for her, to kind of feel that way, based on what she just learned, and also, based on, how she feels about, all the things that she's been able to accomplish in her career. So I get that. And she is meeting, or getting to know a stranger who happens to be her husband now. So I get that. I get it.
I would not go any other way. In fact, I would have him sign that prior to
you hardcore. So she don't play no games, y'all. I'm telling you.
Because you don't know this man.
I understand.
And he may have filed for bankruptcy, but he's into the
day trading.
Yeah,
that's which
can
high risk.
Be profitable.
Yeah, but it's high risk.
It's also high risk.
Sure.
So I don't blame her. And
she wants a little sense of security.
Absolutely, and women are big on security.
No question about it. So I get it.
So he said, he asked her, what did he say?
He said, "You don't trust your boy?"
You don't trust your boy.
And I think that I could see or feel where he was coming from, but at the same time, when you just admit to your wife, this situation that you had to deal with, prior to, and even though you explained it and you were candid up front with it, you still have to take into consideration her feelings and her side of it. So, I think he kind of acquiesced a little bit and says, "Okay, I'll do it." Well, how do you kind of really tell?
Hey, I filed for bankruptcy. That's not what you say.
Too hardcore.
Come on. That's what you say.
All right.
And I'm not hardcore.
You are, yeah, you are. you ain't playing no games. Promise, y'all.
But in any event, he agreed to sign any post-nup that she will pull together. And I hope the sister has a good attorney go through it prior to him signing, because he also has to get an attorney to review the prenup. He can't just sign it. Post-nup, because he can't just sign it.
Yeah.
He got to get an attorney to look at it.
To make sure everything is what it should be.
Anyway, the next day, the other couple joins them, Morgan and Ben, and they all go on a boat ride. Lovely day for sailing.
Yeah, they're kicking back and enjoying,
having some adult beverage and kicking back.
Enjoying the company, man.
The ladies separate and they're asking each other how stuff is going. And Stacia mentioned that she's not continue using her father's name. She's going to take Nate's name.
His last name, because she feels like she didn't have a connection with her father growing up. There's no point into doing this.
Right.
There's no purpose for it as far as she's concerned.
Right.
She wants to stick with the here and now, and the here and now is her marriage to Nate.
I mean, that is so adult thinking in my mind.
Okay.
I mean, people may have a problem with it, but she's absolutely right.
Okay.
I would have taken my mother's name,
Mhm.
if you know what I'm saying.
Right. Right.
But you have to judge that against the input and the influence of a father. And if she doesn't know who he is, then why are you carrying a name that you don't know anything about?
There's clearly no connection, and as a result, no reason for her to do that.
Yeah, I
and
can
she's
see
very,
that.
yeah, she's very comfortable with that, and I understand it. I understand.
Yeah.
I definitely understand it.
But meanwhile, she is talking to the woman, and Alexis said something that about
Triggered
her father that triggered Stacia, and she starts crying.
Right. Right.
And
It was. I think it was something along the lines of, she also too did not really know who her father was.
but
so
he
she
was there though.
right.
Remember?
Right. Not really, but maybe in the way that she really wanted to know him.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So Stacia started crying, and the ladies were able to soothe her and calm her down, because it's an emotional thing telling people, hey, I don't know my father. Because you have a longing to know your father or your mother.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll get that piece worked out. No, she'll.
Yeah, I just hope that this experience she's having with Married at First Sight doesn't trigger that longing she has to know who her father is.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think I think it will, but at the same time, I think that because she has a spouse now, that she doesn't have to do that alone. And I think that if Nate recognizes that and kind of stands in the gap the way that he can and supports her in that, they can do that together. And I'm not saying it would be easy. It'd be a difficult and probably a painful journey or process, but I think they could do that if that's what she
And do
wants.
you think Nate understands that sensibility?
He might not now, but maybe as he gets to know her,
Okay.
he'll come to that understanding.
Well said.
I do know this. He as in Nate, when he was talking with the fellas.
That's all we have. We're looking at this couple because there's a lot of dynamic and ebbs and flows with them.
Good
And
chemistry.
they have good chemistry, but
We'll
I
see.
am suspicious of Nate.
Uh-oh. Here it comes. Here it comes. You dropped that little tidbit of suspicion, Super Snooper. Huh?
So we shall see. But as always, I cover them by wishing them the best.
I think they're going to be all right.
All right.
All right?
So say, so done. That's how my people say it. But anyway, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch us do this summary review. And we hope you have a blessed day.